pounds, Mr. Wrestling 2. In the blue corner from Amarillo, Texas, weighing in at 232 pounds, Jay Youngblood.
Mr. Wrestling number 2, who's been in controversy ever since his appearance here on Mid-South Wrestling, continues now against a man making his first start, and I'm sure the fans in the area will love him, Jay Youngblood.
Well, boy, Jay Youngblood is a proven superstar all over the country. He is based mostly out of the great Charlotte wrestling area in the last few years. Former co-holder of the World Tag Team titles with Rick Steamboat, has been in the ring with as tough a competition, has specialized in the last few years in tag team matches, has set out his own single career, and he came to the right place to get started in a single wrestling career, and he is up against one of the most awesome individuals that has ever come on the Mid-South wrestling scene. A tremendously strong and powerful, a man with a legitimate mean streak, Mr. Wrestling 2. A man that has a tremendous feud going right now with his former coach, Mr. Wrestling. Of course, in some of their situations, they have commitments made in tag team wrestling. Wrestling 1 and 2, they will be teaming up. High hip toss by Youngblood. Wrestling 2 going for the kill, but to no avail. Youngblood certainly not intimidated by the tremendous record and power of Mr. Wrestling 2 as he's taking it right to the man. A lot of exciting things coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, Terry Taylor and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, two of the great superstars here in Mid-South Wrestling, will be here next week. Youngblood taking the big man over. You know, the Crusher Khrushchev, the TV champion, the man without a country or a medal. Dr. Steve Williams has that medal. That issue could be coming right to a head. Of course, Terry Taylor chasing Khrushchev for another TV title match. Wrestling 2 going for that clothesline. And Youngblood with those tomahawk chops. Boyd, we've heard a lot about those tomahawk chops. He's very proficient in those maneuvers.
Like you said, he's a headliner all over the country, especially in the Mid-Atlantic area around Charlotte and Raleigh in the North Carolina region. And now here, bringing the top talent to the Mid-South Wrestling as matchmaker Grizzly Smith continues to bring all the top stars for our fans here in this area.
A vicious body slam by the awesomely strong Mr. Wrestling 2. He says he wants a shot at the North American title. Perhaps he feels like he's been taught better than Magnum TA. Near fall, 2 count. The Magnum TA has certainly taken on the best competition that there is. A great chop. We've got a Pier 6 brawl breaking out here. The shortcut, the bigger man goes to the eye. Standing vertical suplex. That may be all for Jay Youngblood. Standing vertical suplex, and Youngblood kicks out. Mr. Wrestling 2, he's taking it all to this young man, Jay Youngblood, in our television main event.
Trying to crush him now with sheer power.
And he's got that power too, boy. He's a tremendously strong athlete. Superbly conditioned. A very unusual man indeed. Mr. Wrestling 2 exerting a tremendous amount of strength on the lower torso of Jay Youngblood. Referee Ron West keeping a very close eye on Youngblood. He could reciprocate at any time. Mr. Wrestling 2's got those big hands locked, and he's grinding away. Youngblood's trying to get set. He's trying to get ready for that chop. Right to the head, another chop. Wrestling 2 is getting a little wobbly. A great reversal by Jay Youngblood. Youngblood trying to regroup. There's that tremendous strength. Great conditioning. Wrestling 2 right back, relentless. relentless in his technique. He's got Youngblood up, and he's putting every bit of power he's got on him. I don't know how much more Youngblood can take in this predicament.
Now you see the power as he locks those hands and wrists entwined there. And applying the pressure once again as he moves his upper torso in against his. Mr. Wrestling 2 and Jay Youngblood, the young Indian star, is in trouble, Jim.
He certainly is. And ladies and gentlemen, still to come in this hour, the Rock and Roll Express, Brad Armstrong against Ted DiBiase, and a great special on Magnum TA. It's easy to see why over 1 million people per week watch Mid-South Wrestling, and we do appreciate you so very much for allowing us to come into your homes every week. Youngblood has got to reach down. He's got to reach down and go for it. That's what he's trying to do. Another shortcut by Wrestling 2. High elevation. High elevation by Youngblood. And Youngblood, the crowd's behind him. Another packed house at Irish O'Neil, and Youngblood's going for the down. Youngblood's going for it. Wrestling 2 scooped his legs. Wait a minute. What? Referee count him out. Wrestling 2 had his feet all over the rope.
He had the added leverage. The referee was down on the floor counting 1, 2, 3, which he did. And Mr. Wrestling 2 gained the victory over Jay Youngblood. The Rock and Roll Express coming up in the tag team match after this word.